Hello guys, just before the video starts, do me a big favour, like the video, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel, because YouTube loves interaction and a lot of people watch, they just don't interact. So do all that for me and definitely check out drivermatty.com. Enjoy the video. Nice one for tuning in. Hello guys, hope you've had a brilliant Christmas and I don't know when the video's going live, but have a good new year if you haven't already. Now listen, big question is, will you work for Uber in 2025? Is it worth it? It's very situational guys, but the thing with Uber at the moment, it is going on a very slow decline for drivers, and obviously it's increasing massively for passengers, and we noticed that across Christmas. So I know a lot of people who work for Uber, I know a lot of people who work for the local companies during Christmas, and Uber was unbelievably quick, unbelievably busy, where the local companies were busy, just not as busy as Uber, but well better rates, where Uber's rates were just awful over the Christmas holidays, right? And a lot of people said that actually the local companies were busy because Uber couldn't get the work covered, it was that busy. Or those drivers ignoring all the rubbish fares and would only work for good fares. So there'd be like people booking a local company and say, I've been waiting 45 minutes for an Uber and I couldn't wait any longer, so this is why I'm booking the local company. And they had to pay like 3 times the price for the local company, because most local companies on like time and a half or double time during the holidays, where obviously Uber's off peak, so it's like the lowest price, and only £1 a mile for drivers. It is very low. Even some people were saying that even as a passenger, they were paying like 10-12 quid to go 4 or 5 mile during Christmas. Like crazy cheap prices. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know what they were paying the driver for that, do you know what I mean? So yeah, it's very situational at the moment with Uber. It works for some, not for others. I think going into 2025, I think if you're going to work for Uber in 2025, you've got to change the way you think about Uber, because I don't think it's going back the way it was. So I've said it all year, I've said Uber's game is to get rid of all the older drivers like myself, who's been doing it for years, and you just want new drivers who loves Uber the way it is now, and you don't know what it used to be like. Because that's the thing that's holding Uber drivers back at the moment. We knew what it was like a year ago, 2 years, 4 years ago. So we're always comparing that. We're going into 2025. If you want to stay working for Uber, you're going to have to look more at Uber pays per minute now, not per mile. Do you know what I mean? So you need to stop looking, it's it's a 30 mile job for 32 quid. You're gonna have to look at that and go, you know what though? It's 30 quid in 40 minutes and stuff like that, because that's the way Uber's going now. It's following America massively. And I think you need to get your head around it to be able to continue happily to work for Uber. If you're not happy the way Uber's going, you're best just going for a local company or get a different job in 2025. Don't forget, big changes in 2025 as well is the HMRC has started. So Uber has started informing the HMRC how much money you are earning. So no more hiding from the tax man. So you have to declare every penny you earn on Uber anyway, if you wasn't already. Myself personally, I've done it since I started, just because I'm quite an honest person anyway, and also because obviously I do YouTube and stuff and in the public eye, so I've got to be 100% legit anyway. But yeah, the tax is changing, the rates are changing, the way things are going is changing. They started tracking if you're braking hard, you're accelerating. Do you know what I mean? They're weirdly offering you miles and miles away jobs. So when you're driving, you're just getting ping 6 mile away, ping 8 mile away, ping 9 mile away. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people are saying it's all now unsafe to work for Uber and stuff like that. Obviously, if you check out my YouTube, I've done loads of videos about this, the way it's all heading and stuff like that. So it is very situational. Myself personally, I'll probably still work for Uber in 2025. Personally, because Uber's very situational and it works for me. For one, it's my content. I do Uber related content on my YouTube and TikTok, so I kind of need that to stay in the know anyway. 2, it fits around me. Do you know what I mean? I might go out for an hour here, an hour there. Last week I done 70 quid on Uber, just literally filling in the little gaps, waiting for my customer to land or waiting for my customer to head out. So just say like, I've got an airport run from Liverpool city centre to Manchester airport. I'll sit in mine an hour beforehand and get a job to the city centre. Do you know what I mean? So I'll get a little £8 on top of me airport run, or £6 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? So it works well for me with the local companies. You haven't got that flexibility. There's normally a fixed set, a lot of high commission structure and stuff until you hit the cap. Do you know what I mean? So Uber works well for me, but it might not work well for others. I would say going into 2025, if you are a full-time Uber driver, I do believe you probably still, depending on your situation and depending on where you live, I still think you benefit more from a capped commission from like your local companies. So what I mean? So the companies in Liverpool, they normally charge 20-25% commission. Then once you earn your £500, you hit your £125 commission. And then anything after that is all yours. There's no commission. Do you know what I mean? The tips with your cash work and everything else normally covers your commission anyway. And also the rates are better as well. But they might be not as busy as Uber, but every mile you drive will be worth more. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously the depreciation on your vehicle, your running costs on your vehicle, even though we're looking at Uber as a per minute company, you still got to look at it per mile. Because every time your car moves 10 miles, that's cost you a set amount of money. With your fuel, your depreciation, wear and tear on your vehicle. Do you know what I mean? So you should be paid for your mileage for when your vehicle moves, and that's where the local companies shine. Very little minimal miles. The jobs are normally 1-2 mile away from you. Do you know what I mean? And then each mile you do is normally at a good set, solid rate that you know and you're aware of. Do you know what I mean? Everything's structured more on a local company. You know how much they charge per mile. They know how much commission you pay. Everything's a lot more structured. Where Uber at the moment, you get paid £3 per mile or £1 a mile. And then you might 1 week you pay 5% commission. Next week you pay 40% commission. It's all over the show, so it's very hard to get a routine and structure of what you need and what you need to go forward. And also, a lot of people complain about Uber now because it is per mile, per minute and not per mile. The mileage that they're running in their cars to earn the money. So just say you earn £1,000 in a week, you'll be hitting 800-900 miles in your car. Do you know what I mean? Where if you've done £1,000 on a local company, you might only be at 400 miles in your car. Do you know what I mean? A lot of miles, a lot of dead miles with Uber. So there's loads of pros and cons. Obviously, there's no right answer. It's what's best for you and your family. Do you know what I mean? But you got to sit down and really consider what you want to do in January, because January is one of the worst months of the year for all companies, for all businesses. So you got to sit down and just figure out what's best for you. Do you know what I mean? Because it is very situational. If you're a family man and you got a wife who stays at home with the kids and everything else, I feel sorry for you doing this job. It must be near impossible for you to provide for your family, your car, and all the household bills. Do you know what I mean? But if you're semi-retired and you want a little bit of extra income, then this could work for you. Do you know what I mean? But it is very situational. Do us a favour, guys. Let me know in the comments. What are you doing in 2025? Are you working for Uber? Are you going back to local? Or are you going to a different company? Or are you doing a different job completely? Because going into April 2025, the minimum wage is up to like 12, 13 pound an hour, isn't it? Off the top of my head. It's hard to hit that money after your vehicle expenses. Very hard these days. So, there's pros and cons. Do you know what I mean? When you go employed, you got your holiday pay, like real holiday pay, by the way. You get your time off. You get loads of benefits. You're sick, but everything else with self-employed. Yeah, you should be earning more on self-employed because you don't have employment benefits, and that's always the way. That's why self-employment is normally paid more per hour than employment, because you lose all those benefits. Do you know what I mean? So, for me personally, I will be continuing on for Uber, purely because it just works for me with the content and everything else. But hopefully, going forward into 2025, I want to start doing more YouTube and TikTok, bit airports, and very, very, very little normal private hire. That's my plan. But listen, guys, thanks very much for tuning in. Absolutely love all the support that I've had over the years and years of doing this. And hopefully 2025 is going to be a good one. I hope you're all fit, healthy, happy, and looking into the future for next year. And all the best, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Obviously, like the channel, subscribe to the channel, and consider becoming a member. See you soon, guys. Thank you.